name is Michael Nicholson. I'm owner of Phlex Fitness and founder of M. Nicholson Hip Hop Fitness. All right, I'm ready. Well, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York.
Mike, just talk.
Better known as East New York for the most part.
So it's the money time right here. Ready? Action.
Mike, what are you doing? Oh, no, he's not supposed to get.
All right, I'm ready. Well, originally from Brooklyn, New York, grew up, loved to dance, loved to sing. Home was a little rough. Grew up in what most would call the hood, pretty much for the most part. Tried to stay out of trouble as much as I could. My mother, she was a police officer, police detective, and my father, he worked at a lumber mill. Starting at the age of 5 is when I would say like my artistic talent came about. I started drawing like life portraits, real life portraits. I started with a Martin Luther King. It was a puzzle box at the age of 5. Teacher put up, and she told the class to draw it. And everybody was doing, your typical, ovals, circles, and everything for the face, and lines for hair. And I actually took my time and drew a detailed portrait. And she pretty much called me up to the front of class and said that she wanted to talk to my parents, contacted my parents, talked to the school, other school officials and things of that sort, and pretty much expressed to my mother that, I had a talent for visual arts, for drawing at the time. Later on, also at the age of 5, I started dancing. So my favorite artists were James Brown and Michael Jackson, and watching the Rocksteady crew, and the people just in the streets in New York for the most part, break dancing and just dancing on the corners. Like New York, it's the mecca of hip hop. And at any given time, you see a piece of linoleum, a cardboard box on the floor, on the street, sidewalk, and people was just out there battling, and just at parties, and everything, just going out dancing and displaying my love for it. Hip hop was birthed from telling stories about, what was happening in the neighborhoods at the time, about the struggle, about the violence, just about everyday life situations. So within hip hop, a lot of people don't realize that they are in fact learning. Certain artists you may not learn from, but for the most part, the artists that are out there, and when you think about the artists from back in the day, they were telling you a story. They were telling you about the conditions of society, of a community, of people. So with hip hop, the way that I use it, in terms of just dance and fitness, it's a motivational tool. There's a lot of motivational lyrics in hip hop. There's a lot of lyrics that talk about fitness and working out in hip hop in general. But just to get people motivated, that's how I utilize it, and that's how I try to explain to people what music is about, how music is supposed to be an integral and important element within society. It's not just a recreational thing. It's not just something that you just listen to, but music has the potential and the power to change the course of a society.
What would you say to the high school student, the senior, who's on her way to college?
Learn. I would pretty much say that you don't have to have everything figured out and this is your life. A lot of people go to college or feel like they have to go to college, but when they do go, they feel like they have to go to live up to something or to impress somebody, and that's mainly their family members. And they find themselves not wanting to do the things that they may have sought originally to do in college. So it's like, my father expects me to be an accountant or a doctor or what have you, or my mother expects that, and they go there like, okay, I gotta be this for them. No, go to college for you. When you get there, figure out what it is that you want to do. You have to be passionate about it. And the way that I tell people to look at business, look at a problem that you can solve. If you can figure out how to solve a problem, your business is set. So even here, within my business, most people, they don't last in this particular aspect of the fitness business, but their lifespan is about 2 to maybe 5 years tops. And here we are going on 10. And that's because, number one, I was passionate about it. But number two, I found an answer or a solution to a problem. And that is, health and fitness, in regards of unhealthy lifestyle, in terms of people who want to lose weight and things of that sort. That's the answer to the problem of not being fit, of not being healthy. So if you can figure out how to answer a problem, you'll be successful. And as long as you're passionate about it and stay focused on it, don't let anybody deter you. If you feel that this is something that you're passionate about, that is going to succeed, no's happen all the time, but no is not the final answer. You might hear this, you might get nine no's before you get the one yes, so don't let anybody discourage you. Just pursue it. Be hungry, stay hungry. Even when you feel like you've reached your goal, stay hungry, because you always got to eat.